What's going on, my friends? I'm sitting here with Agata, who is absolutely smashing it now. Little backstory: before she actually jumped into our program, she was actually taking money out of her personal finances and put it into her business account so she could pay rent. And now she's crushing it. This month's going to be her best month ever. So, Agatha, if you can you please introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from, and
Sure.
ultimately, what were you actually doing before you jumped into our.
Not much. Hi, my name is Agata Hayes. I'm in the Chicago area. I've been a permanent makeup artist for a year and a half now. I am also a professional makeup artist, have been doing that for about 23 years.
Mhm.
And before the program, you're right. I decided to transition from makeup and do permanent makeup. I wanted to, grow this new business. I saw some potential. I thought it would be great. And when I first started, it was challenging. So instead of just doing permanent makeup, I decided, okay, I need to do both to grow my clients, to bring more people in. So I did. But it wasn't quite like I thought it was going to be because they don't really teach you that in any of the schools or courses, how to run a business, how to structure, how to bring in clients. And I had a pretty big network of people that knew me from makeup. So I did initially have some clients. I reached out to all of them. But at some point during, especially like the fall season, like this time last year, it was like crickets. It got quiet, and I was lucky if I had 3 appointments in a month. So the only thing that was really keeping me afloat was my actual existing makeup clientele. So, few months there, it was really tough. I was basically contributing money from my personal account to pay rent on a studio that I have to obviously pay rent on.
Mhm.
And I made a decision to start looking into ways to try to improve. So initially I did all the stuff that I think most people do. I'm a go-getter. Failure is not an option. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make this work. So I did all the like printing, all the flyers, and I went to all the local businesses around me. I'm in my salon suites. I introduced myself to everybody. I try to get in front of people that are also in front of other people, hairstylists, nail techs, to give them the service to also, so they would obviously offer it to others. That didn't produce what what I thought was going to produce. And here I am thinking, okay, this is going to work. But essentially, you're printing all these materials, you're dropping it off, and you're hoping that somebody will not only grab one of your flyers or business card, but also that somehow that will bring them to actually pick up the phone and call you and come into your studio. I was focusing on social media, I was doing reels, I would try to look branded, but just because somebody likes your reels doesn't mean it's a paying client in a studio. So I needed to shift focus, and I really needed some kind of structure and more knowledge in terms of how do I tell people that I exist so they can come and see me. So that's when I saw your advertisement on Instagram, and I was like, okay, I think this is what I need. I need structure. I need a way to kind of hone in everything and find ways where I can make it consistent.
Mhm. Amazing. And walk me through, like, what would you say is maybe your two, maybe three biggest takeaways that you got since you actually came into the program?
Um, I think one of my biggest ones is mindset. I think that's such an important part of the business. Like I said, I'm a go getter. So, it wasn't an option. But I think sometimes when you have a mindset that's presented in front of you specifically to what you're doing, and you can kind of focus it on the right stuff, it makes all the difference in the world. Becoming organized, becoming, planning your business, making very conscious decisions. It's all part of that mindset. And to structure your day in a way where you can get the things that you need to accomplish and taking actions every single day. And I think the other thing is being consistent, because it's easy to do things here and there and be like, oh, I did it. But then if you don't have that consistency and a system that allows you to do the same repetitive things that are going to produce results, then you're not going to see the results. And I think those two really made a huge difference. I am an artist. My background is in art. Sometimes I can be a little scattered. So it really helped to have structure, to
Mhm.
have steps to follow, to know what actions to take. It was amazing having the support, being able to ask questions when I didn't. I'm learning every day. There's still things I'm not, great at, and I figure out what's good for me, from my business, how it works for me. So it's constantly a learning process. But the biggest thing is you just have to start. You have to start. You have to be uncomfortable. In the beginning, I remember, like, before starting, I was signing up, but I was like, okay, but I'm scared. I'm really scared. It's an investment. I don't know what's going to be happening. I don't know. I'm not a very technical person. I'm not great with, like, certain computer things. I'm like, I don't know. But you don't grow if you don't get out of your comfort zone. And if you're forced to, put those actions into play on a daily basis, you get better. So
Yeah.
now consultations are not, a big thing. I have a great closing rate, and I just understand that I need to reach out to a certain amount of people to actually get those few appointments that I need for the week.
Good. I love it. That's amazing. Those are great takeaways, to be honest.
Thanks.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, because
Sure.
obviously you decided to work with us.
Yes.
Why us? Why PME Launch?
I've researched into a couple of different companies, and I think one, your system seemed to be a system. It seemed to be something that I thought would be really structured, which is what I was looking for, something where it was in steps so that I can kind of wrap my mind around it. I needed help with that. You guys seemed like you were approachable. It was something that I thought I could get support from. So those were a lot of the, my decision making process, kind of when I was figuring out what would be best for me. And then the other thing too, and this is kind of from my makeup background, is I didn't want to discount my service. A year into, a little over a year into my permanent makeup job, I didn't want to be where you are in the very first beginning when you're building a portfolio.
Mhm.
And I also understand this from my makeup clients, that once you start doing the, like, heavy discounts, I'll do it for half off, you're also bringing in those type of clients, and I can't sustain a business doing that. And also, it's so much harder to go up from there, because those clients have those expectations. They refer those friends that have those same expectations. So I thought that it was really amazing that I can still do a system and grow my business without having to drastically cut my prices.
Mhm. Love it. I love it. Walk me through your results. How many closed
Uh,
deals since you
so
started?
since I started, I've had well, since I took down my numbers, it was 36 clients, so about $18,000 worth of clients that I have had, and it's growing. So, obviously, when I started, I wasn't as good with the consultations. There was a little hurdles here and there, but it's growing. So each month it's getting better. This month I'm looking at about $7,000 that I'm bringing in. So, compared to, like, being lucky to have, 4 clients last November, I think that that's pretty amazing.
That's
So yeah, and things are growing. I also go into it with the understanding that, it's not going to happen overnight. I have to be consistent. And as I'm consistent and doing the same things every day, each month is going to get better. Now I'm also starting to get referrals from the clients that I have brought in through the consultations. So it's growing. So I'm booking into January. I don't have any Fridays or Saturdays available until like the third week of January. I do have some appointments here and there during the week, but overall, I'm pretty consistently booked, and that's the biggest thing, because it would be fine if I had like 4 clients one week, 5 clients one week, and then nothing for the rest of the month. But I'm consistently booking, at least 4 new clients. So obviously, my goals are to be higher than that, but I know that it's coming.
yes. Good. I love it. Congrats. Seriously.
Thanks.
That is awesome. Super
Thank you.
proud. Um, Let me ask you, what would you say to someone that's maybe sitting on the fence, right? Like for you, kind of took you
Yeah.
like almost a year to finally get off the fence to realize you needed some
Yes.
help. What
Yes.
would you say to someone that maybe is like working on their business? They are a hustler, they're looking for
Yeah.
new things, but like maybe they just heard about us, or maybe they've been on their own, they've talked to us, but they're like, nah, I can keep doing it on my own. What would you say to someone who's kind of just sitting on that fence?
Stop struggling and get off the fence. Because for me, honestly, at first, I didn't even know that this was an option, that there was a program out there that could help someone like me, specifically in my industry, that I could reach out to someone. So I struggled for a long time thinking that I needed to do it on my own. And obviously, you don't have to do it on your own. You have, a system, and you have support. And I think that that's so important. And had I known earlier, I think I would have made the decision earlier. And then, of course, once you do, it's, you have that fear, kind of like, okay, is this like real? Is this going to work? Like, what is this going to require? I think sometimes people think that it's like, oh, I don't think I can do this. You can do anything if you put your mind to it, even if it's uncomfortable, you can do it. Yes, there's work. You have to be consistent. You do have to get up and do these things, do it every day, but it is very possible, and the results are amazing. So I wish I would have done it sooner.
Love that. Amazing. Do you have any like final words? Anything you kind of want to say?
Um, and not that I haven't already said. I think I'm just, really happy that I decided. I'm really happy that I went for it. I'm so grateful for the results that I'm having, and I know that I am only going to go bigger and grow, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. I think it's amazing, and I'm thrilled. I'm so happy for me. I'm proud of myself for doing it, for taking the step to do it. Yeah, and
Mhm.
I encourage anyone thinking about it to just go for it, because honestly, it's so worth it.
Yeah. Amazing. I am so proud. Seriously.
Thanks. Thank you.
Congratulations on the growth. I'm super excited to see where you're at as you continue to repeat the successful actions. So yeah, keep up the good work. Seriously.
Thanks. Thanks.
Absolutely.